Peace, peace. The power of television mind control. If you don't know about public relations, you in trouble. The TV can manipulate your thinking by putting a thought in your head, just like the movie Inception, to put that idea in your head to make you think about it in your subconscious. How do they do this? Let's see.
Road to perfection, television has traveled.
Most people still today think that all entertainment to do with movies, drama, is therefore nothing more than their entertainment. It never ever was that case.
Of course, television can't perform such miracles as this. Yet. But perhaps there's no harm wishing that it could.
The greatest social messages are promoted through movies and drama, high drama, through the fixation of emotive sequences, emotional sequences, not logical, factual sequences, but pushing points across in an emotional way which register and fix in the mind. So emotional content is very, very important, rather than going through an actual discussion or an argument using logic and facts. There's no debate. And when you're being downloaded through fiction, your guard is down, the sensor part of your brain is not in action. It isn't saying, yes, I agree with this, I disagree with that, as you would in a debate or a lecture. You're actually in an alpha state, being completely downloaded with new ideas.
Throughout history, social engineers have refined techniques designed to control large populations.
About 100 years ago, this big organization with many branches, they wanted to rule the world basically using Britain as a nucleus of a system, an embryo, which also was going to be joined with the US under the Anglo-American.
Let's pause it right there. Let's pause it right there. And we go to this right here. This is Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. Now, he was saying how people wanted to control the world. The people that he was talking about was called the black nobility, the Jesuits. Now, to do this, as far as television programming, this is actually documented facts. They have something called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, an introductory programming manual. This is a technical manual on how to make you basically be programmed like cattle. And what they were saying was, through the device called the television, they're going to program your mind. And there's something called public relations. Public relations is a huge industry. They're spending now something on the order of 1 billion notes a year. All along, its commitment was to controlling the public mind. Now, this is in the 1920s and the 1930s. All right, keep that in your mind. Run it.
Establishment wrote about the kind of culture and the changes of culture over a 100-year period that they would actually design, implement, and bring in. And H.G. Wells talked about it too. He talked about arenas. He says arenas could be put up across the world for sports, for instance. Now, at that time, sports was something that children, school children were into. Adults became adults and got onto adult things. So it was unimaginable at the time that people could actually believe that there was even a need for adult sports and entertainment, never mind having arenas built across the world. But he said, we can do this. And foist basically a sports culture for the males. Using a tribal system, we're all tribal to an extent. That's why we even bother to vote for a tribal leader. This is well understood. That's why we're supplied with these leaders. And because the average man was to become more disengaged from his own destiny as the expert class arose, it was decided that the males would get their outlet basically, gradually becoming helpless as males through sports. Therefore, they'd have a tribal team they could identify with. They could cheering them on as they were winning. In their own personal lives, they were getting nowhere. They were getting disenfranchised in a sense as experts took over decision making for them in all kinds of fields. So this was psychology at use, planned before they even implemented the sports. When radio came along, of course, they used
Let's
that
pause
to-
it right there and address that. We're talking about tribalism. We're talking about sports. We're talking about people who want to be a part of something, right? This is what they do. They use diversionary tactics. Get the people to love a football team, a soccer team, baseball team, basketball team, so on. So what they want to do is divert your attention to things of no substance. You see this? Diversion is the simplest method of securing a silent weapon and gaining control of the public. Is to keep the public undisciplined, ignorant of basic system principles on one hand, while keeping them confused, disorganized, and distracted with matters of no real importance on the other hand. Disengage their minds. Didn't dude just say that? He just said disengage their minds, sabotage their mental activities, providing a low quality program of public education in mathematics, logic, systems, design, and economics, and discouraging technical creativity. See, engage their emotions, increase their self-indulgence and their indulgence in emotional and physical activities, i.e. sports. See that? This is what they're doing through media control. This is why Noble Drew Ali said we have to, as Moors, we have to have our own media. The power of media, man, is like, it's like indescribable. See that? Diversionary summary. Media, keep the adult public attention diverted away from the real social issues and captivated by matters of no real importance. Entertainment. Just like the movie Gladiator. Are you not entertained? You keep them at a below a 6th grade level. You keep them worrying about sports. You keep them worrying about TV programs of no real substance. This is what so-called good propaganda, that's what it's about. It's about controlling your mind. If I can put information in your mind to make you do what I want you to do, then I've done my job as a good propaganda orchestrator. This is what TV does. See, the people in public relations, in the public relations industry, aren't there for the fun of it. They're doing work. They're trying to instill the right values. This is what they're doing. They're instilling values in your head. You see? It says this: the rest of the population ought to be deprived of any form of organization. See that? Disorganized. This is the same things. The same things. Because truth is truth. Disorganized, man. That's what they want our people to be. Because organization just causes trouble. Trouble for who? Trouble for them. They ought to be sitting alone in front of the TV and having drilled into their heads the message which says the only value in life is to have more commodities, non-essentials, or live like that rich middle-class family you're watching to have nice family values like harmony and Americanism. That's all there is in life. You may think in your own head that there's got to be something more than life than this. But since you're watching the tube alone, you assume I must be crazy because that's all that's going on there. And since there is no organization permitted, that's absolutely crucial. You never have a way of finding out whether you're crazy, and you just assume it because it's the natural thing to assume. We are talking about programming that is happening all the time. Every time you turn on your TV, you are being programmed. So you have to be very careful about what you putting in your head. What are you putting in your head? Last part is right here. This is a direct quote from them in public relations. He said, "We've got to prevent their roar and trampling." They're talking about people. This is the guy from public relations. Okay, this is a direct quote. We've got to keep, it says, we've got to prevent their roar and trampling. We've got to distract them. They should be watching the Super Bowl or sitcoms or violent movies. Every once in a while, you call on them to chant meaningless slogans like support our troops. You've got to keep them pretty scared, because unless they're properly scared and frightened, all kinds of devils that are going to destroy them from outside or inside or somewhere, they may start to think. See, COVID-19, gossip. There's gonna be some terrorism activities. They have to scare people into converting into consenting. See, which is very dangerous, because they don't want us to think, because they're not competent to think. Therefore, it's important to distract them and marginalize them. Man, this shit is strong, man. This shit is wicked. This shit is wicked, man. What they doing out here with these TVs and these programs that they running all the time, 24/7. It don't stop. Unless you want to get out of this shit that we in right now as a people, you have to stop diverting your attention and stop giving them voluntary consent and stop being programmed. Study your nationality, study about your history, study your real culture, and stop being diverted and stop having your mind get sabotaged. Real shit. Our self-law and master, Islam.